But right now, game number 1 is getting underway. So we're done with all this analysis stuff. We're going to find out what they're doing and find out who's going to win, because Ostkaka versus Neirea is getting underway right now.
Yeah, when you have a player of the caliber that Ostkaka is, you can just, throw the record out of the window. It's so hard to look at his record and be like, yeah, this is indicative of the kind of player he is. He's frankly just been getting pretty unlucky in a lot of spots as well.
Yeah, and just, this opening hand, though, looking very strong for him. And he's even accounted for the fact that Neirea is typically going to play some larger minions. He's got shield block in here, and unless he's integrated Slam into his Control Warrior deck, this is easily Grim Patron.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of people doing this with Grim Patron lately, just putting shield block and shield slam in it, just a couple more removal spells. Sometimes you don't find the executes in enough time to take care of, that one minion you need to get rid of here in these games.
Yeah, we're going to find out exactly what Neirea is playing as soon as we get this client issue fixed for us. We're going to get a glimpse at it. And Neirea, though, it looks like both these guys are taking a lot of time with their opening hands, and this is something I'll see these players do a lot too, is they don't want to give any information away, so they'll take the full time in their mulligans.
Yeah, they always take the full time in their mulligans and make it look like they're highlighting every single card. They don't want to automatically mulligan a lot or, mulligan too few real quickly to give, your opponent kind of a sense of what you're doing.
Yeah, there's the Wild Growth. I was going to say no Wild Growth in this Druid hand, but Neirea picks it up, and just straight up from the matchup from the get-go, I think Druid has a little bit of an advantage here. But, we saw this matchup yesterday. A tempo Frothing Berserker got played, and that was actually kind of a catalyst to winning this matchup with Warrior versus Druid.
Yeah, you talk about this a lot, that Druid is actually a good answer to a lot of the things that Warrior tries to do, and this was actually reversed from what I was trying to say during the setup. I thought Ostkaka should be, doing the Druid thing because Neirea plays so much Warrior, but here we see it swapped.
Yeah, Ostkaka's been playing a lot of Warrior too. No way to deny it. And now that I see the Sylvanas draw, I'm actually thinking he did integrate Slam into a Control Warrior deck.
Yeah, it's very possible he just wants the extra, utility that Slam brings. It turns on executes, it gets you an extra card, and it deals well with early minion pressure as well. So it's not a dead card anywhere.
Yeah, Senjin being found in Neirea's deck. This is strictly a nod to the way that Grim Patron's going to play. A lot of taunts oftentimes put so much pressure on that deck because they only have a lot of times just 2 executes to get the job done. If they don't find those cards, suddenly you're looking at an advantage.
Yeah, and this is something that we've seen before out of Druid decks, and I believe out of Neirea's Druid decks before. He builds them with something like Grim Patron in mind. You see stuff like Sinjin Shieldmaster in there, ready to fight that battle.
Yeah, but now that I see Shield Maiden, I'm sort of solidified my read. I think this is full-on Control Warrior. And then Ostkaka, with the Slam, is trying to maybe give some people the wrong idea of what this matchup is.
Yeah, he's got the Slam. It might make Neirea play a little differently here early. And I gotta believe, if I was Neirea right here, I believe this is Grim Patron.
How could you not? You just saw Slam. When was the last time you saw Slam in Control Warrior?
Probably like 2007.
See, that's the thing that's happening with Ostkaka. He makes these little tiny changes that actually have this gigantic impact on the way that someone will approach or look at the game in general. And now that Neirea has played into this kind of perspective, obviously he wants to put minion pressure on the board, but Ostkaka's now set up a beautiful Sylvanas turn.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful Sylvanas turn here if he wants it. He's got a couple other options too, but it's kind of hard to pass up Sylvanas on this board.
It's threatening so much in this spot. Like Neirea, if he doesn't draw Keeper of the Grove here, he's almost forced to trade in these minions.
That's a rough spot to be into as well.
I'm actually curious if there's any merit to playing Dr. Boom or Force Nature first.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. If he does something like play Force of Nature or Dr. Boom, there's a lot of misses for the Sylvanas here as well.
God, that's a tough call to make, though. If you play Force Nature and then say he steals the Senjin, you're like, oh gosh, I just lost Force Nature, the Shade of Naxxramas, and the Senjin for Sylvanas.
And I got in 4 damage. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's one of those things. It's a high risk, high reward play. If it works, you look like a genius and you're so far ahead.
Oh, he's looking at it.
Yeah, he's playing with it. But if you have this happen and it doesn't work, you're the GOAT at that point. It's like, what were you doing?
God, that's painful. Look at the play that just had to be made. That's so much value for Ostkaka.
You're seeing the utter power of Sylvanas on certain boards.
Yeah, it's been a lot tougher lately, but when you set up these positions, again, it's just what's going to happen. And now some kind of weird plays here at this point for Ostkaka. He's looking at a spot where he actually doesn't have an efficient way to deal with this 7/7.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward for him that he doesn't have a great way. He doesn't have a shield slam to go along with the shield block here. He could, use Death Bites or Fiery War Axe to get some damage on it, but, and execute. But he's going to be taking a ton of damage back on the way from that as well. But, if he gets to do that, he does get to develop Acolyte of Pain as well, and that could be a good turn for him going forward against these boom bots.
And we're going to find out. Ostkaka is never one to make his turn plays too fast. He understands that he's got to account for all the situations. And I like that he's just sucking it up right now and trying to get the job done. You know, again, Acolyte of Pain so good versus Boombots.
Yeah, Ostkaka always taking his time during his turn. He's from the life coach school of play in Hearthstone.
I mean, why wouldn't you take your time? You know, just get extra thought in. It's one of the ways you get an advantage. And now Neirea, is he looking at this Harrison Jones like this is the turn to play it? Because then he doesn't have anything to add to it. You know, I feel like just Ancient Lord here is much better than the alternative.
Yeah, just draw some extra cards. This game's going to be going on for a while here. Picks up a Savage Roar.
Wow, that is, I mean, you're looking at some massive swings right now. Ostkaka's going to need something big to get this job done, and Grommash is not going to be any help this turn.
Yeah, this is a rough turn here from Ostkaka. You might see him just run into a Boombot here. Yeah, just hoping the juggle from the Boombot here goes onto his Acolyte of Pain and he gets another card.
Yeah, misses, goes to face instead, and there's actually no way for him to kill this Ancient Lore unless he just draws Shield Slam. Oh, this maybe is a way to draw Shield Slam too. Now, just goes to face. That's the quickest I've ever seen a Boombot go to face. It just knew where it was headed. It's like, why would I hit the Acolyte?
Yeah, he's just ready to go.
Yeah, 21 damage available for, I'm sorry, 22 damage available for Neirea this turn. So 1 damage off lethal. Is he okay with that?
Yeah, if you do something like that, he has Swipe still behind in his hand and a second Force of Nature. So yeah, I love just going for it here.
Yeah, Savage Roar does squeeze in 2 extra damage at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much win the game by doing it here. You know, what could really go wrong? How do you get super punished from here?
Yeah, it's very tough to get punished in this spot. I don't blame him whatsoever. He's got 10, 11 damage back behind.
Yeah, I was going to say, he has the other Force of Nature and Swipe next turn. So I fully expect to see Savage Roar here, push for all the damage, and just tell Ostkaka to beat it.
Yeah, Neirea, though, going to consider his options. He understands that at times there are alternative game plans and wants to evaluate the board once he knows he's going to Force Nature, but then evaluate the board afterwards. Is there a different play to be making?
I like seeing this. You know, the king of killing minions here, he's going to get aggressive. Love seeing this from him.
Yeah, it's certainly not what you always expect to see from him, but in this matchup, you know, when the time calls for it, the time calls for it. And Ostkaka down to 2. This is, I don't know if he's getting out of this one.
Yeah, I don't think there's a card that can get him out of this.
Armor Smith. Oh, maybe a glimmer of hope now.
He's got Shield Block and Armor Smith here, and Armor up for his actual turn. Plus, he gets to draw a card off the Shield Block as well.
Yeah, I think step 1's going to be Shield Block here for sure.
Yeah, he can Shield Block, play Armor Smith, run his Acolyte in, draw another card, so he can get 2 more cards this turn, and then run his Shield Bane in and just get, ooh, even picks up Shield Slam here if he wants to get aggressive.
He's got to get the armor, though.
Well, he doesn't know that there's 10 more damage coming behind this.
8, 9, 10, 11. Even if he goes to 11, he's still dead. Force Nature, Swipe, and then Hero Power with the Innervate. So just, you know, trying to cling on for dear life, but at the end of the day, just not enough. The extra 2 damage from Savage Roar actually making a big difference.
Yeah, you're going to see if Ostkaka actually wants to play super defensive here or he wants to get somewhat aggressive with this player because, you know, yeah, he needs to gain all the life he can, but he also has to try to find a way to win the game from here as well.
Yeah. So just not going to be enough at the end of the day. He feels comfortable at 9 after just seeing Force Nature Savage Roar and how long Neirea took, but just back with more damage behind that. This is one of the reasons why this matchup is so unfair versus Warrior. They want to interact with minions turn by turn. Druid says, you know what? I've done enough minions for this game. Let's get you.
Here's a Force of Nature. Interact with this.
Well, it's not going to happen this one. Neirea out to a quick 1-0 lead here. Ostkaka just, you know, it seems like every single one of his matchups, he's not getting the better of him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to feel for the guy. Bad matchups, a little unlucky here or there. Neirea, great draw here. This, not to take anything away from him, he played this game great as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to 0 and you have armor, doesn't matter. You're at 0 life and you are dead. So, wow, just what a game from Neirea. Love that he recognizes he needed to go for Force Nature Savage Roar on that turn. Doesn't have to be the finishing blow. I mean, if you're dealing 21 damage in one turn, I feel like that's enough.